Hey everyone, welcome to round 3 and 4 of the GT Asia Series for 2016, where this week we're at Chang International Circuit in Buriram, northern Thailand. A fantastic facility, Steve Martin, perfect for these GT races.
Oh, it certainly is. If there was ever a great Herman Tilke designed circuit, this is the one. 12 corners, 4.5 kilometres long. There's lots of action going to happen on this track behind us because he's taken the best of all the tracks that he's built around the world and brought them right here to Thailand.
Yeah, it's certainly going to be interesting, and the fans love their racing here in Thailand. We're expecting a big crowd here at Buriram. But it all got started, of course, in Korea a few weeks ago, and it was the boys of Bentley that had got off to a brilliant start, especially the young Australian Jonathan Venter. We sent our young Australian Steve Martin to find out Jonathan's unique story.
Of course, I'm here with Jonathan Venter, winner 2 times last time out and championship leader. I've got to say that was an absolutely brilliant result in Korea a few weeks ago. I mean, what does it mean to you with Kitasawa? Brilliant result.
Yeah, it was great. Look, Bentley Team absolutely did a fantastic job. I was really impressed with how they worked on the car and their consistency and the teamwork we had. So it was a good start to the championship, taking out 2 victories, but going into this weekend, having a 36 penalty is going to make it very difficult. But I'm confident in the team, I'm confident in my new co-driver, Fabian Humprecht, and we'll see how we go.
What does it mean? I mean, like with Kitasawa not with you now, you've got Humprecht this week to change drivers into the championship. Is that going to be something that you're going to have to get used to, or do you both drive similar?
Look, we're definitely going to see, how we prefer our driving styles in the car and try and make a compromise, but from how we've been going so far, I think we're on the same page. He's very quick, he's very consistent, so I'm very confident in him. But here everyone at Bentley Team Absolute wish Kitasawa the best of luck at Le Mans. But we're very happy to have Fabian. He's a great kid and definitely quick.
What do you think of this Buriram circuit? Isn't it going to suit your car?
It is very high speed, so I think the Bentley will get a good advantage on the high speed corners. But it's very hot, so we're struggling a little bit in straight line speed compared to everyone else. But we'll see how we go for the rest of the weekend. Hopefully the temperature comes down a bit.
Well, certainly in Korea, it was all about Bentleys, and of course they lead the championship. But after qualifying, Carlo Van Dam and that Ferrari definitely want a home win.
Oh, they certainly do. I mean, the consistency that they've been putting in all weekend has been fantastic. But there's a few different guys with opportunities this weekend. The Bentleys are still fast, but keep an eye on the Audis as well. They've been out there batting the laps out.
The biggest thing, though, is going to be the heat, both inside and outside, because the track temperature is going to be hot and tough on the cars, but also on the drivers.
66 degrees we're seeing inside those cabins, so it's definitely not going to be a holiday drive for these guys. They're really going to have to be working hard for those podium positions in the race.
All right, the hot sunshine of Buriram here in northern Thailand. Let's take a look now at the highlights of round 3. Hello and a warm welcome to Buriram in Thailand at Chang International Circuit. Jonathan Green and Steve Martin here as we take a look at this now famous but still new 4.5 kilometer circuit here in northeast Thailand. And we are now at rounds 3 and 4, just the second outing, having raced 2 rounds in Korea. We are now at round 3, and one man who knows all about this circuit and is on pole position for round 3, Carlo Van Dam, originally from Holland. As you can see, after 2 rounds, Kitasawa and Jonathan Venter lead the way in the Bentleys. Davide Riso and Anthony Liu in the Ferrari 488 are in 3rd and 4th place. Then Sean Thorne and Marchi Lee. Interestingly enough, Kitasawa not here this weekend. He's on Le Mans duty. If you've got an excuse not to be at a race, being at Le Mans the 24 hours next weekend, not a bad one. And they stay on. And they now go out. Away we go then. Out go the lights, and we are racing at Buriram.
Look at the Lamborghini up the inside.
Whoa, great start by the Lamborghini. Somehow he makes it through. But he does send Adelaide Fong wide in the Bentley. He recovers well, and down the long straight they go for the first time down to turn 2. There's a little kick here, but it's flat out through here, Steve, and then hard on the anchors. into turn 2.
Yeah, it certainly is. About breaking at the 90-metre mark there, 240 k's an hour, this 180-degree bend. It's a very wide track and plenty of overtaking opportunity, and the times have been so close throughout qualifying that this should be a cracker of a race.
Got a quick glimpse of number 98, Sugden. Great to see, the former Asian champion. Tim Sugden in the Porsche, in the mix there, just going slightly wide, and the field starting to spread out, going through turn 4, very fast through there, but it is Carlo Van Dam of Holland who leads the way at the moment. And the number 9 looking racy, that's Duncan Tappy.
Yeah, well, if anybody knows how to win around here, it's Duncan Tappy. He won here last year, and I'm sure that he's looking to make his way through the pack up to Van Dam in the front. Van Dam with a 36.6 last time round.
Our champion struggling somewhat. A little further down the field than he normally would expect, and there he is in 9th position. In 10th position. It's Young in 9th position, just ahead.
Rizzo he's had a spin or a run off in the braking area.
He's at turn 1. He's actually in the exit of pit lane there. So I think he's either out-braked himself or done something. Let's have another.
Easy to do there.
He's
spun.
Backwards, yeah.
He spun.
Well, luckily, as you can see, no damage to that beautiful 488, but sadly, Rizzo in a bit of spin at the moment. There you go, he's back to it.
Now, this man, Rizzo, has got a lot of work on his hands to try and get past Daryl O'Young, because Daryl O'Young is certainly not hanging around in that field.
Everything he told us earlier is going to go out the window now, because he's going to rag the heck out of this car to get it to where it needs to be.
Absolutely, he really does need to get it back here. I mean, they had a really good chance of getting on the podium here, and he's going up the inside. He's through.
Good pass, nicely done by the Italian, and he goes through on Daryl O'Young.
Top window is about to open at local time 2:53, so another 5 or so minutes, and the other drivers will be getting ready to put their helmets on and get in the car. Of course, if you're going fast like Van Dam is, he might stay out until the last possible minute and do that pit stop later in the race.
Slight mistake by Lyons there, and that's given the chance for the Audi to make his move, and he does so. Nicely done by Sean Thong. And yeah.
Oh no!
Out goes Alex Young's car. That's car number 6 of out, and out it goes, and Young will not get a chance to get to the wheel.
Yeah, I think he's got some sort of mechanical problem. Obviously, he's being pushed back into the pits now. They have had a mechanical problem this weekend.
They had a gearbox overnight.
They had a pinion flowing in from Germany to put into the car, but Alex hasn't been his usual happy self, has he? So let's hope they can get that car right for tomorrow.
Fong, Tappy, Fong and Lee. Lyons, the only drama story, Davide Rizzo spinning the car, and sadly more problems for the Young Audi, already out of proceedings. Anthony Liu then heads out of the pits.
It's a beautiful car, that 488 twin turbo Ferrari. New tyres going on. Looks like they're roaded. A set of roaded tyres going on to the...
Explain what that means.
Well, what it means is in practice they've gone and done 1 or 2 laps on the tyre. It won't have the outright grip for 1 or 2 laps, but if you go out, do 1 or 2 laps, come in and take the tyre off, let it cool down, then put it on, it can be faster for a much more consistent period of time. So that's what they're doing for Buriram Bhakti, putting a set of roaded tyres on so it can be more consistent throughout the race.
And away goes Buriram Bhakti out of the pit lane and down that long straight down towards turn 2. Pushing hard in this opening stint. We look at the car, number 7.
That's Andrew Kim, of course, with Woody in for a sec behind him.
Yeah. Looking to see what Vudikorn can do here. He's got a lot of experience, not necessarily at this track. Whoa, a big mistake there by the number 7. Kim actually had a problem at that corner in practice on Friday. Had a rear brake problem and it spun him round and into the tyre wall. No real damage done to the car.
No, he got lucky. He got lucky because there was because of the big runoff here, he didn't actually quite reach the tyre wall. But when you go and stand on the track braking down into there, they're heading into that corner at over 200 k's now. There's the lights flashing. He's pulling up. He's in the spot for an overtake up the inside. He's nipping up the inside. He's done it, Jonathan.
Nice. Well, or has he?
He has.
Yes, just.
Inside line, he's through.
So then, Vudikorn, the very popular driver, 42-year-old, goes through. It's Carrera Cup Class B man. Bags of experience.
There's Marchie Lee.
Gets past number 88, Frank Yu.
Of course, Frank Yu.
Back with the leader, Buriram Bhakti. His gap, still 12 seconds.
Yeah, Buriram Bhakti's in a very good position now. That's come down to under 11. There you go. Stop and hold penalty for car number 12 as well.
Well, I hope my eyes aren't deceiving, but are we really seeing the leader with a stop-and-go penalty?
Well, we'll just have to wait and get the official word on that. At the moment, we'll just keep watching them. They're out in front. If they have got that, the cars do have radio contact.
A breach of the compulsory pit stop for our leader. Drama indeed here in Thailand as we are getting tied in knots in GT Asia because the leader of this race has got a stop-and-hold penalty, a 3-second penalty. That will seem a lot longer.
You know what that means?
Bentley are going to win again.
No. Audi are coming. Look at the Audi in the background.
You're
there.
Absolutely right.
Marchie Lee.
And we're in traffic.
We are in traffic, but right now the Duncan Tappy car, of course, with Vutikorn in it at the moment.
And Richard Lyons, and Carlo Van Dam,
he's
watching
not happy.
on Nottingham, quite rightly so.
This is a win thrown out the window. Here he comes for that pit
Oh,
stop.
this is going to be agonising. It's only a 3-second stop. I say only.
It's a stop and go.
It's going to ruin
well,
everything.
It certainly is. It's off.
1, 2, 3. Well, away he goes. Was he there the full 3, I wonder? Doesn't matter. He's away, and they've lost the lead of this race. As you can see, the Bentleys go through. But here comes Audi at the inside. Marchie Lee goes through. He split the Bentleys right now, and with less than 10 minutes to go, Marchie Lee is literally on the march now for victory here in Thailand.
Oh, we've got another problem.
Now, what's wrong with the number 91? That is not a scheduled pit stop
No,
at
that's
all.
got to be some sort of, maybe he's picked up something off of the track and punctured a wheel, but you definitely wouldn't stop with 9 minutes to go. Definitely got some sort of problem there on the 91 VLT car.
Bentley watches on. Jonathan Venter kind of disgusted by the whole proceedings, I think, and heads back to the pits. And now down this long straight, surely Marchie Lee will take the lead of this race.
He's close. He's in the slipstream. He's gone to the outside. That's not the place to do it.
Now goes to the inside. Will he outbreak the Bentley? He's looking for
through.
it. He is through. Marchie Lee now leads this race here at Buriram, and that was a classic overtake. And for the first time, Audi lead.
Yeah, he's definitely got big pace. He's a second a lap quicker than those the two Bentleys at the moment. And now we're going to see how tough the Bentleys want to take this and how they want to fight. He's tried to go up the outside, can't do it. Nip to the inside. Of course, carrying 40 kilograms less this weekend, and he's able just to outbreak that Bentley.
I think that was what they call in soccer, a little bit of a fake move there. He faked to the outside to pull the Bentley across.
Absolutely.
And said, thank you, you just give me more room on the inside.
Yep, and that worked beautifully for him. There goes the number 8 car after its stop-and-go penalty. A 1 second breach.
Yep.
Oh, no!
Whoa!
That's a spin.
Yeah, you can see the gravel coming out of the car. The all-new VLT Porsche. Buriram spins it out.
Definitely not a good race for the for Buriram this time out.
Now, Marchie Lee's got to be a little bit careful here. He's getting into traffic himself. Here's what happened. Ooh, yes, you can see. Yeah, ooh, almost hitting the tyre wall there, but just avoiding it.
Yeah, that's out of turn 4. He's really lucky to get away with that. It looks like he lost the front into the really fast left-hander.
There's the checkered flag then, and across the line comes Marchie Lee. Long live the king, and the sign says it all. But the king here in Thailand, racing for today, is this man, Marchie Lee, and the team know it. And here is confirmation of the results here from round 3. Thong and Lee then with victory by 4 seconds over the Bentleys of Tappy and Vutikorn. In second place, Fong and Kim. In third, the Ferrari of Van Dam and Buriram, who led for so long, have to settle with 4th place. Rizzo and Liu likewise in 5th. Liberati and Amici, problems for them, having an infringement at the start. 7th is Lyons and Hughes. Sugden and Richardson in 8th position, holding off Venter and Haprecht, the German, the youngster coming in to replace Andrew Palmer. Congratulations to Sean Thong and Marchie Lee. Phoenix Racing taking their first victory of the series for the Audi R8. Certainly dancing in the aisles was Marchi Lee, and he deserved to be too. It's a wonderful scene yet again here for round 4 of the series from the Chang International Circuit here in Buriram in Thailand. Jonathan Green and Steve Martin bringing you the action live here on Fox Sports. And we are looking for another cracking race. As you can see from round 3, there was all sorts of shenanigans going on, both on track and, of course, off track, with the penalties being handed out. And I would have thought there's been a lot of head scratching overnight to make sure that mistakes aren't made. Exciting news for us, though. This car, and one of the most exciting entries, the BBT Ferrari of Rizzo and Liu, are on pole position. Their time of 1:33.334. And Steve Martin, as we look across the grid, it's going to be a cracking race because we've got Audi, and surely their tails are up. Marchi Lee with that brilliant stint yesterday, and we know what Liu and Rizzo can do. They've proved it time and time again.
Yeah, absolutely. We're in for an absolute crack of a race here this afternoon, Jonathan. A lot of people made a lot of mistakes yesterday, and they would have learnt from those mistakes.
Including these boys.
Yeah, they made a mistake right at the start. They weren't in the boxes when they went over for the rolling start, and they received a drive-through penalty. So their race was virtually scuppered before they even crossed the start line. So I'm sure that Eduardo Liberati, starting the race for them today, won't make that mistake.
We haven't seen the best of the Lamborghini yet as we look at the championship leader, but the gap has narrowed. Jonathan Venter of Australia and his new teammate, Hambrecht of Germany, the young 21-year-old. It's been a good combination so far, and of course Hambrecht coming in, joining Jonathan Venter, Van Dan and Buriram, and of course Piti Buriram, the local favourite here, Singer Motorsport entry, and 3 cousins racing this weekend from Buriram. So an exciting time for the family. An exciting time this too also for Fong and Andrew Kim. The Korean has been, to me anyway, Steve, probably the find of the year so far. Really impressed. We know what Adlai Fong can do. He's already been a development driver in Formula 1, so, you know, he's one of the top stars in Asia, but Andrew Kim's still finding his way.
Yeah, he was absolutely under a lot of pressure yesterday, but he held off, you know, he still managed to get it on the podium under all that pressure, so he's learning every race. Of course, Duncan Tappy had a good race yesterday as well, but be interesting to see what they can do.
We had a good chat with these two, Sugden and Richardson. They're enjoying their weekend, only the second time out in the car.
Yeah, they did a really good job. They've improved a lot in the Group M Porsche from the last time out in Korea, and definitely moving up the field.
Now, what did you make to this then? Oh Young, our current champion, and of course Toy Buriram had all sorts of problems. 2 punctures, which is, you know, unprecedented. What did you make of that?
Well, we didn't hear the absolute outcome of that yet, but it could have been a setup problem that caused the tyres to overheat, or maybe they got unlucky and picked up a couple of you know, punctures just out of you know, misventure. But
same sort of misventure for Ao and Young.
Gearbox problems plaguing them all weekend, and they didn't even get to finish the race yesterday, so hopefully they've got that right today.
And Richard Lyons and Frank Yu slightly disappointed with their form, and the BOP not working for them anyway, according to them. And yeah, it's still, you know, it's still a tough time, but Richard Lyons, we know, is capable, as is Frank Yu. And Durashon, the Thai driver for A Motorsport in the 911 GT3R.
Of course, his story is that he started the race yesterday, and he will be starting today as well, because he's the only driver in the car.
This is an interesting entry, though. Tin Sri Trai is, of course, the TCR man, but Varavud Buriram in the Ferrari. So it's an all-Thai entry, and so double duty for Tin, the popular driver, and then Gurusai and the other Buriram Singer Plan B motorsport car. So, like I said, it's a cast full of Buriram. We're about to go racing again for round 4 of GT Asia, and as you can see, the beautiful 488 Ferrari on pole position. Had a spin yesterday, unfortunately.
Yeah, they did. There was a lot of people, as we said earlier, that didn't get it quite right yesterday, which gave, you know, probably the Bentleys a good opportunity to finish second and third. They might not have finished there if a few other cars didn't make mistakes.
Here's your grid then. Rizzo and Liu, Thong and Lee. That's the front row, and you can see poleman on your left-hand side. Liberati and Amici in the Lamborghini, and Venter and Hambrecht, 3rd and 4th. The Bentley, the first of the absolute Bentleys there. Van Dam and Buriram. Carlo Van Dam not happy after yesterday. He is alongside Fong and Kim, who are 6th position. Watch out for Van Dam. 7th is Tappy and Vuticorn. Then Sugden, 8th, and Richardson, his young protege from Manchester in the Group N Racing, who first time out in Asia. Oh Young, our current champion, Buriram Bhakti in 9th, Jung and Ao in 10th position. Phoenix Racing Asia, and of course Phoenix Racing getting their first win with Marchi Lee yesterday. Lions and You in 11th position, and then Charion in 12th position for the A Motorsport team. As we go off on the warm-up lap, Sitrai and Buriram Bhakti 13th, Prasai and Buriram Bhakti. Singha Plan B Motorsport team, number 15-9 car. It's a 1 hour race. It's hot again here. The potential thunderstorms have stayed off for now, and I don't think we're going to get them in the hour that we have. And just to explain, this is a sprint endurance race. We have a pit window at the 25-minute mark to the 35-minute mark, 10 minutes to get in, a compulsory pit stop, and we'll explain as the pit stops come closer just exactly how long each of the cars will stay in the pits, because there is success penalty, if you will, for the timing as well. Each car has to stop a minimum of 85 seconds, but some is added on depending on the grade of the drivers in the car and also how well they've done in the pits.
Absolutely, and what we mean by the grade of the driver is that we have gold drivers, silver drivers, and platinum. Alex Hill, of course, platinum and bronze. And the bronze drivers are your amateur or gentleman drivers. They are bronze. If you have a silver driver and a bronze driver together, you have no extra penalty. But if you have two silvers, you have to have an added 12 seconds to that pit stop time, which the compulsory pit stop time here is 85 seconds.
Steve, your thoughts on this Herman Tilke design circuit? I mean, he's done a lot around the world. I mean, Austin, one of his latest inventions, if you will, and designs, but this another one. I was talking to one of the track designers here last night, and you know, he always does something quirky, something different, but there's a lot of I know classic marks also
Absolutely.
of a Tilke circuit.
The thing, there's David Arizo. He's got his fingers crossed, especially. These were one of the guys, he span out yesterday and scuppered their chances of a victory. But the thing that I like about this track, Jonathan, is you have to be pinpoint perfect when you're on track. You cannot make a mistake. You can't overdrive the car at this circuit. And if you do, it's easy to have a spin. It seems like you need to put your foot into it, and it seems quite easy to appearance. But also the grip level is quite low here, which means that you have to really baby the car around, something that you don't really want to feel like you're doing.
Really looking forward to this battle between Anthony Liu and Marchi Lee. Two very different fellows, but both very quick and different ways to get to the point of the front row of this grid for round 4. They line up and get ready for our race here. Leading the way is the Ferrari of Anthony Liu of Shanghai in China. Nicely lined up. When the lights go out, we'll be racing. And out go the lights, and away we go. The Bentley pulls out quickly and goes to the inside. The Ferrari defends its position. Audi tries around the outside and through the inside. The Lamborghini.
Oh, we got to spin out. We got to spin. One of the Bentleys has gone round.
Well, that was a brilliant start by the Lamborghini. A sensational start. Damage to the number 8 Bentley as well.
Oh, that's Hamprecht with damage. So the Bentleys didn't get off to the best of starts, but one Bentley span, and Hamprecht's Bentley is definitely damaged there.
And Amici's looking for the lead already. Wow, all sorts of drama right at the start of this.
But it looks like the Lamborghini boys are just starting to come true and show us what they can really do. If you remember the first race in Korea, they were on fire until halfway around the first lap when they got involved in some action that they didn't want to do. But now I think we're starting to see the true form of this brand new Lamborghini Huracan.
Well, Anthony Liu is now going to have his mettle absolutely challenged now, because he's got two very, very strong competitors behind him in Amici and Liberati. Amici at the wheel at the moment. In third place goes Lee, Marchi Lee, and then further back it's Hambrecht, Buriram Bhakti, Kim, Intra Vuticorn or Intra Thrasic, whichever you prefer. A little further behind in 7th.
The one thing you have to remember, the man in the red and yellow Ferrari, the 488 Ferrari out front at the moment, has the fastest lap time of the weekend in qualifying session 1 and session 2. He actually did the quickest lap, so he's certainly on form around this circuit. They had a spin yesterday in round 3, and that certainly... Oh, Marchi Lee's just span out.
Oh, Marchi on the last corner. He's got to wait for everybody to come back. He now rejoins. Well,
the back
talk about hero to zero.
Well, the back end's come around in that car, and not much you can do about it. Tyres obviously not up to pressure or temperature.
Now, under investigation is car number 7. Here's a look at what happened.
Look, Marchie's gone in. He's gone in.
So Lou leads, and it's going to be very, very interesting to see how well the man from Shanghai, China, can defend here against the Italian. Hambrecht still third, but damage, remember, to that third-place car.
I mean,
Rear bumper hanging off, effectively.
absolutely.
Vuticorn still fourth. I'm still reeling after that Marchie Lee incident. And also, Kim and Fong under investigation from a turn 1 incident. So that was what caused that problem. And under investigation.
Yeah, I mean, that was unfortunate, but once again, the fastest man on circuit at the moment is Anthony Liu. A great first lap, 39.7. He's already pulled out a half a second gap over the second placed Lamborghini. Lamborghini yesterday didn't much. Here's
a look at it again, yeah.
Yeah, so Liberati.
Back on. So, another look at it, and there's the incident.
Yeah, it looks like...
it's hard to call, really.
Yeah, I don't know. I'm not
why
sure.
It's under investigation, but...
I think, we need to try and get another look at it from a different angle, perhaps, but... it's always hard to call an incident like that, Jonathan, without looking at it a few different times. I'm not sure if somebody tapped the back of the Bentley, but we've seen 2 guys lose the rear end, 2 cars lose the rear end now. Obviously, track conditions compared to yesterday.
No further action, we're now officially told, so I'm not surprised.
No, I couldn't really see any contact there. I think just the fact that 2 cars had that same issue, I think that it was just a matter of both of those cars warming the tyres up.
So, just to confirm, Rizzo and Liu still lead this race. And a little further down, you can see Citroën up to 10th position there. But it's Liu, Rizzo, Amici, Liberati, Hambrecht and Venter. And don't forget, 5 minutes gone and our window 20 minutes away for the compulsory pit stop. And that's where this type of racing gets very, very interesting, because effectively this is endurance racing, but it's sprint endurance racing, because you have that compulsory stop, 2 drivers, and they have to take that stop within a window of 10 minutes. Keeping an eye on Ao and Leung there up to 7th position. Ao at 7th position at the moment. There is the brand new Porsche chasing the number 9 Bentley out of Sugden and Richardson. Pretty amazing weekend for George Richardson, coming in at the last minute to join effectively his mentor in Tim Sugden, a former Asian champion, of course, the man from Yorkshire. It's pretty impressive also to put a man from Lancashire and a man from Yorkshire together. Never the twain shall meet, the North and the South.
No, absolutely.
Effectively, the 2 Northerners.
Yeah, they are doing an absolutely fantastic job this weekend.
Yeah, they are.
But look at the pace of the Ferrari. I mean, Anthony Liu, he's come on a lot. You've seen him and watched him race for a long time, haven't you, Jonathan?
Yeah, and he's been he's not underestimated. Everybody involved in the series knows just how good he is, but I think he's surprised quite a few people, because he isn't, a classic weekend driver every weekend. He's basically, effectively, doing this for fun. But boy, he's very much a Paul Newman type figure when it comes to racing, because he may have another job, so to speak. Boy, can he race a racing car for sure.
There's Buriram Bakti, of course, in the 458 Ferrari. That's the older model Ferrari, but he's having a good little battle there with the other Audi, which is out there with Alex Au in it at the moment. We saw yesterday that that Audi had gearbox problems, and I don't know if they've been able to fix the problems that they've had. And bearing went, they had a light come on yesterday that said there was an overheating problem with the gearbox. They've managed to fix it as best as they can, but it looks like they're out there. It's just, let's keep our fingers crossed for that Audi, and hopefully the number 6 car can finish the race today and get some good points, because this is a good track for Audi.
Well, Fox Sports viewers will be very familiar with the face they just saw, Alex Young, but if it wasn't for bad luck, he wouldn't have any. Poor guy, he's had a rotten start to the year. Former Formula One Malaysian, of course, and a bit of a hero back there, but hasn't really had a chance to show what he can do. And he also had some bad luck in Europe as well. They crashed out racing at the Nürburgring 24 hours, so really hoping for Alex to have a good weekend, or finish off this weekend in a good way.
Fastest man out on track still, Anthony Liu. He's just pulled away again. He's nearly 2 seconds in front at the moment from the Lamborghini of Amici and Liberati. And I'm sure that the Lambo boys want to have a pretty smooth race this time around. Look at Alex Al looking for a line up the inside. He's definitely looking for a way past now. A bit of a slide there.
Lost a little bit of time there by pushing him perhaps a little too hard for the Phoenix Racing man. But the Audi has really come on strong. I think the balance of performance has helped them for sure. Losing that weight has put them right where they need to be. And that's the beauty of this kind of racing, is they try to keep it as close as possible, and it's worked brilliantly so far.
Yeah, absolutely. If you're not familiar with balance of performance and what it is obviously in any championship where you have different manufacturers and cars, one year one model might be better and another year another model might be better. So what we do here with the balance of performance is we change subtle things on the cars, which either slow some cars down or speed some cars up to even the cars out. And what that means is any one of the 5 or 6 different varieties of cars out there has a good opportunity to win.
Nothing like an angry Marchie Lee. He is flying. I just saw him in the back of that shot, and he's about to do another overtake. Marchie Lee has recovered to 9th position already. There he is. He's spun out on the last corner, and he's got the Porsche in front of him.
Definitely lost a lot of time in that incident. He's 21 seconds off the lead at the moment, so it might have been a little spin, but it certainly cost him a lot when it comes to the outcome of this race. But
here he is up the inside of Frank Yu. You giving him plenty of room.
Yep. Frank Yu, of course, in the Interrush Porsche, starting this race here today in round 4, and you know, they've been struggling with the Porsche, haven't they?
Yeah, a little bit, but you know, it all works out. And of course, Japan next, and there'll be a new balanced performance. Here's that overtake. Yeah, pretty textbook stuff. I mean,
yeah, it certainly is.
Picture.
Yeah, it is textbook stuff, Jonathan. But that corner there is pretty much 212 kilometres an hour. A couple of years ago, they were actually doing 212 kilometres an hour in the middle, but now they're doing 220 in the middle. We spoke with Carlo Van Dam about that, and he actually was the one that told me how the cars have come along in the last couple of years, and the fact that they have come along so much and the corner speeds they can carry now, it really is amazing that these things are so incredible. Of course, there's Hamprecht in the Bentley, in the number 8 Bentley. A little bit of undercarriage hanging off the back of that car.
Yeah.
He was a nice welcome to Asia.
Yeah, no kidding. He's a very laid-back character, actually. He's going to try to be a commercial pilot, he was telling us. But he's a pretty laid-back figure.
Yeah, I mean, he certainly is. He's very laid-back. And I guess Anthony Liu is in the way.
Here's another look at Marchie on the march.
Yeah, and you know, those Audis this weekend have really come in a long way. Of course, the BOP helping them, and it's quite impressive to see, you know, the improvement that they've made from Korea. I mean, Korea, they weren't anywhere near it. It's a brand new car this year, the R8 LMS, of course. But to be honest, they've really come to grips with it quickly, the team. David Rizzo, of course, and Anthony Liu doing a great job. A little bit of a slide there from Liu this time round, though.
He's pushing as hard as he can to try and give Rizzo the car just where he needs it.
Well, you know what? I mean, how annoyed was he yesterday? If you had a look in the pit box, Jonathan, yesterday, he was absolutely distraught when David Rizzo span the car out. So you could see the look on his face. So he's really making up for it today. He's trying to bring the car back into the pit stop window with a big lead. He's already built that up to 2.7 seconds over Amici and Liberati in the Lamborghini.
Now our pit window will be at 14:28 local time for 10 minutes to 14:38. So there's that battle. Lions, Yu Fong and Kim, 9th and 10th. And now the Bentley and the Porsche back at it.
Geez, Andrew Kim is having a very, very good drive, isn't he, at the moment? Sorry, that's Woody, isn't it? Woody at the wheel. He's having a very, very good drive.
I'll tell you what, if Vudekorn can hand the car over to Duncan Tappy, who of course is coming in here again, but is a master when it comes to both this track. He was pole position here last year, and whatever he drives in, to be honest, he's one of the best drivers we've had here in Asia. Duncan Tappy will not be slow once he gets into that Bentley for sure. No. So definitely Vudekorn racing at home. 42-year-old really looking, a slight mistake there by the former Carrera man.
Yeah, I mean, they're in a good position at the moment. They're just 12 seconds off the pace, which is quite good. And we were talking about our compulsory pit stop time before. Oh, of course, yeah. Marchie Lee's caught back up to
Buriram
Bakti now. Piti Buriram Bakti, of course, in the Singer car.
And he'll be handing the car over to Carlo Van Dam. And look how close Marchie is in the Audi. He's putting pressure on the Ferrari, 458.
We saw yesterday how strong the Audi was under brakes, and look at him there. He's just eaten him up.
Yeah, pretty much. Made that look very simple indeed. Onto the main straight he comes. That's where he spun earlier, and I would have thought he's still pretty upset.
Yeah, so that's, great move by Marchie Lee, but still, he was 21 seconds behind a while ago. He's 28 seconds, so it's not looking like, in this stint at least, he's able to match Anthony Liu. Anthony Liu is incredible at the moment, the pace that he's running out the front. 35.4 is, that is so much quicker than everybody else.
So 10 minutes away almost, just over to the pit stop.
It's a little bit wide there for the number 6 car. Of course, Alex Au, Richard Lyons in a big battle here with Yu at the wheel at the moment. And Alex Au just sitting in behind there as they go into that really fast turn, 220 km/h mid-corner there. A lot of downforce needed on the car.
And Alex Au actually is a good guy in terms of learning, because he's got Alex Young helping him. And I watched them late last night. I mean, like 7 o'clock last night, they were still kind of going over data and just talking it through. And I would have thought Alex Young is the perfect guy to learn him. He's a very laid-back character and has been around racing some 20 years here in Asia.
Yeah, well, I mean, Alex, to be fair, Alex Young, he's been around, hasn't he? He's got a lot of experience in a lot of different cars, and to have someone like that on your side is going to be a really, a big help. And the thing that you have to remember is yesterday, these guys didn't get a lot of track time. So it's a big, good thing for them to have. Meanwhile, out front, Anthony Liu is still banging off those laps at a 1 minute 35.6, Jonathan.
Good crowd here as well, once again. Here in Thailand, they absolutely adore their racing, as well as the GTs here this weekend. We've got the TCR in action as well. And a lot of the local heroes, in fact, Ten Tri Trai is in this race, and he's also doing the TCR, so. So Vudekorn still under pressure from the Porsche, the Group M Porsche. And that's a brand new car. The Bentley, of course, has literally developed here in Asia. I remember it coming to Macau for the first time, and then finally racing in China. And since that point, Bentley themselves as a factory manufacturer have been a very serious contender in all GT3 action. And they'll be, of course, in action again at, all around the world, from Le Mans to Sports Car Series in the USA. There's Duncan Tappy and Jonathan Venter. Venter still leading the championship, only just, and so he's anticipating the young Aussie. A really good stint.
Yeah, Hamprecht, of course, good lap times by him as well. He sits in 3rd position at the moment on track. Jonathan Venter be a lot happier with that than where they were yesterday at this time of the race. He's lapping very consistently as well and sits 5 seconds off the lead at the moment. We've got just under 10,
eight minutes till the window opens, and that's a compulsory stop, 85 seconds, and then we'll get into the nitty-gritty of who has longer as they come in bit by bit, and that's where it gets interesting in this kind of racing.
Yeah, absolutely. There's Andrew Kim, of course. He drove really well yesterday to bring that car home to a podium. He's starting the race today, finished it yesterday in round 3, and he's doing a good job holding off Alex Au in the R8 Audi.
Well, it's early in the season, Steve, but there's still points, the point that they're scoring right now. It's an amazing series in terms of how quickly you can lose out if you don't have a consistent weekend. I mean, Adelaide Fong and Andrew Kim currently 7th, and they need the points now because we know that Adelaide's capable. But that DNS didn't start in second race in Korea really hampered them, and so they've been fighting to get back ever since.
Absolutely. You say these are sprint races, and they are sprint races, but they're sprint races over an hour long with a pit stop. Anything can go wrong, and these cars, although they're quite standard, in another way, they are proper race cars.
Of course, yeah.
You've really got to stay on top of them and, keep them well maintained, and things sometimes do go wrong. Brand new Audi yesterday with a worn-out pinion.
Yeah, and just a measure of how much this Asia series has come on. Le Mans is next weekend, and in fact, Mott Wensun, one of our biggest champions, or greatest champions in terms of race wins and championships under his belt, Clearwater, is racing at Le Mans next week in the Ferrari 458, along with Rob Bell, factory driver, and as well as Keta Sauer, who of course was a victor in Korea just a couple of weeks ago. And Keta, I think, was a little bit torn, having won in Korea, wanted to come here and defend that lead, but instead has chosen, quite rightly, to go to Le Mans 24 hours, the biggest GT and, of course, sports car race in the world.
So we've also got the Fong Kim car and the Van Dam Buriram car under investigation for a start line problem. So 2 cars that are out there at the moment may have to do a stop and go penalty. It's being looked at the moment. So that's the other thing. You have to start this race correctly. And if you don't, if you're not inside those start boxes when you pass the line, we saw the Lamborghini in the background there yesterday get penalised for it. You will be penalised. So there'll be some discussions going on down in the pit boxes now as we get very close to the pit stop opening time.
Yeah, 8 minutes exactly to that, and yeah, we just saw a little shot there of Davide Rizzo watching on as his teammate Anthony Liu continues to circulate. Best lap so far of 1:35.4. He's on the pace, that's for sure, and his last lap of 35.5, so he's just knocked it off a little bit.
Handbrakes. Look at the damage on the back of that Bentley.
I don't think it's affecting it that much.
No, we saw one of the Bentleys a little bit damaged in Korea, and it didn't really affect it. But that seems to be the good thing about the Bentley. It looks like quite a big car, but they do handle well, and they're built fairly strong. So a little bit of a bumper comes off or damage like that, it doesn't really affect it aerodynamically. So.
I watched the absolute Bentley in Austin, in the United States, where Adelaide Fong had a massive crash at Circuit of the Americas, and they had to rebuild the car overnight, and they did it with sort of anything they could find, quite literally. And he still got a top 10. So yeah, they're pretty brittle boys, and they know how to rebuild them, that's for sure. Paddy and the boys down at Bentley, and yeah, I'm looking at the times: 1:35.5 by Hamperet.
There's Disheron in the background there in the Porsche.
And here's that entry that I was telling you about earlier. Sitrai and Biriram Varavud Biriram, and he also represents Ferrari Thailand, and that's another reason for entering the car. But a great opportunity for Tin Sritrai, because he's never done a GT race, and he's also on TCR duty, just 27 years of age. And I say just, I mean, I know there's a lot of youngsters in here, but to get a chance to race one of these fantastic Ferraris in his career at this point, very, very, very good.
Absolutely, and I mean, he's well known and liked here in Thailand, of course, a Thai driver, and he's been given a big opportunity to drive that car. And I'll tell you what, Jonathan, he's doing a fantastic job and proving his money's worth for sure.
So we're getting ever closer to that pit stop window.
There are always different strategies. If the driver are in the car at the moment, you've got 10 minutes to stop from when the pit stop window is open. You don't have to come in straight away. And if you're out there doing a good job, if Anthony Liu's consistently doing those 35.4s, he might stay out until the last minute before he comes in to the pits, of course.
Also, keep a very watchful eye on the number 5, Lee and Thong, when they come in. They'll have the 85, but they've then got 12 seconds as well from their accumulated compensation time. And then, because they're both silver entries, they'll have another 12. So a total of 109 seconds. That's going to be a long pit stop.
Absolutely. I just want to point out, 5th position at the moment, young George Richardson in the Group M car.
Yep.
That is a brilliant result.
Well, we spoke to him, didn't we, during the lunch break, and he really, really is enjoying this opportunity. He's very comfortable. Tim Sugden effectively is his driver coach as well as mentor. And Tim, again, a very laid-back figure, but also a very, very good driver. And I think Tim's been off for a while doing driver training with other drivers as well. So he's still getting back into the seat time, and he was saying to me that feeling a lot more comfortable in Korea, where literally it was last minute.
Well, it was an absolutely brand new team last time out. The Group M team wasn't in GT Asia last year. First year here with a brand new car, nothing to draw on. They've basically had to figure it out as they go, and it hasn't taken them long to get it right.
No further action for car 7 and 12. That's good to know for them. So, Buriram back to you in Van Dam. I would have thought Van Dam would have been spitting. He was spitting this morning. What happened yesterday?
He certainly was, because of course yesterday they left the pit box. I think it was 1 second too early, and then they got a stop and go penalty, which surely robbed them of victory. There is the number 12 Ferrari 458.
So no further action also to the car of Kim and Thong. Kim currently at the wheel, and our pit stop's coming up very, very soon. A little bit of a moment there. Mr. Bentley gets tied up behind the Porsche.
Yeah, 1.5 minutes now, Jonathan, until the pit stop window is open.
And that's where the excitement really starts, and we'll give you the full compensations as they come in bit by bit, as we take a look at the number 88 of Frank Yu and Richard Lyons. And I'm really looking forward to seeing what Richard Lyons can do in this second stint. I kind of like it when the top drivers do the second stint, because it's all laid out. They know what they have to do. And it was interesting talking to Davide Rizzo yesterday, which is, in the first stint, he doesn't want to rag the car out because he's going to hand over, effectively, a car that he's just tossed about and made it very hard for the next driver to get in. Whereas now,
well, he said all that and he span it out, didn't
he? Yeah, but now he gets in it, and it's go for glory.
I've got to say, Frank Yu is driving extremely well. He's just done his fastest lap of the weekend. He's in the 37s, and he really is starting to come to grips with the Porsche. I think that they've obviously made
Richard Lyons giving you a thumbs up for that comment.
I think that they've made some...
Whoa!
Oh, that was wide.
Yeah, and they've got to be careful, because, that was a mistake. But if they continue to exceed the track extremities, they will get in trouble. That was a pure mistake, I would have said.
Yeah, you're allowed to make mistakes, but you're not allowed to make an advantage. If you do that and make an advantage, well, you will be pulled in for a stop and go penalty, and there is no margin. If you do it, that's what's going to happen. If you let some people get away with it, well, then it's ambiguous. So right here, you have to drive to the rules. You make a mistake, you pay for it. And some of the drivers have found out in race 1 that is the case.
Pit window is now open, so we will start to see them shuttling through. Here comes the leader into the last corner.
I think
another lap will be completed by Anthony Liu.
Yeah, I think we'll see guys like Frank Yu coming in early, and perhaps Kim as well. Daryl O'Young's
about to get in the car, number 91.
Yes,
back to handing it over to him.
Just see him in the background there. What they're doing is they're not actually changing the tyres, but what they are doing is they're checking the pressures in the tyres.
Well, they might. They had 2 punches yesterday.
Well, and what they do is because when you go out, the tyres obviously gain pressure, and so they let them down now to the optimum pressure, and theoretically, Daryl O'Young should have even better grip. Now, remember yesterday, this car had 2 punctures. And we were talking about track limits, and it looks like car 7 is under investigation for exceeding track limits on the last turn. So car 7, and of course that is the Adderley Fong Andrew Kim car. We saw that on the screen.
In comes Buriram back to you, in comes the Porsche, in comes the Bentley. 3 cars at once, straight in.
Yeah, and of course Anthony Liu, he's quite happy. He's still out on track at the moment.
The Hurricane's in as well, so the Italians go to work and do their driver swap. Well, Liberati, the Trofeo champion of Asia, will get into the car and let's see what he can do.
I guess now's a good time to just quickly run over again the compensation times as we're looking at the changing over driver. As an example, this is Marchie Lee's car. They won yesterday, so they're going to be given an extra 12 seconds over everybody else just for the fact that they won. That's to level the driver ability out, let's say.
Plus they're silver drivers.
They're silver drivers as well, so they will also be given another 12 seconds, and that is a compensation time because they've got 2 professional drivers. So in the end, 109 seconds is what they have to stop for.
Long time.
If you've got 2 bronze drivers, they only have to stop for 85 seconds.
Which is everybody has to do that a minute.
Well, everybody has to, but if you've never won anything, and if you and me were out there, our pit stop time would be 85 seconds, and from there, the better you get, the longer you have to stay in the pit.
Should give us an extra lap start if we were out there.
Well, probably more than that.
So then, Anthony Liu waits for his chance, but he's getting into traffic now, and that's not going to help his cause. He'll want to get the car to Rizzo.
Yeah, he's still lapping at a very good lap time. He's in the 35s, his best lap of the race so far, 1 minute 35.4. Driver change, of course. This is obviously the...
Tappy coming in.
Yeah, Duncan Tappy getting in. He's a winner here before, Jonathan, so he definitely knows his way around this car.
Their pit stop time, 94 seconds, and there's an extra 9 seconds for their results, obviously, for their accumulated compensation time.
Yeah, and of course it's a sliding scale. If you get on the podium, whether it's first, second or third, you get a different amount of time added. So obviously if you win, it's 12 seconds. If you finish second or third, those times decrease. So Duncan Tappy at the wheel now, and you know, he's in a very good position to put himself on the podium in this race.
Also in the pits at the moment, out comes in, and Young will now take over in the Audi as we take a look at the battle here for the number 12 in the Ferrari of Buriram and Van Dam, and the Porsche 88 of Yu and Lyons.
Frank Yu is starting to look menacing there in the background. I thought he might have come in, but I think he's having a good battle out there. And, you know, I think that Frank needs a race like this because he has struggled a little bit with the Porsche. He ran off track a couple of times in Korea, but right here, right now, he really is starting to enjoy driving this Porsche. The new, it's a 991, 911 GT3R.
Yeah, it's still a relatively new car compared to some of the cars that are out there, including this 458 that you're watching. That's, of course, a car that's had a decade of development, and yet the new Porsche behind it has still got some time. And they come out of the last corner and they continue through. Varavud, Buriram, and Sritrai, their car in the pits now in the number 89.
Tin Sritrai will be getting into that car now. So he's he did a TCR race earlier on today, although he didn't do many laps.
Yeah,
but,
he's not exhausted by any means. He only got one lap.
But he's from a Honda into a Ferrari in the same day. Thank you very much.
Halfway point then of this race, this 60-minute GT Asia race, 29 minutes and 56 seconds to be precise. That's what you see at the top of your screen there. And as you can see, warming up into Rashman.
There's about
the Bentley man.
There's about 7 minutes left now for the pit window until that pit window closes. So some of the drivers that are still out on track, like Anthony Liu, will need to start thinking about coming in. And here he comes. Anthony Liu is in. David Rizzo will have his helmet on, and he will be ready to go.
Okay, the leader of the race in. They have a silver-silver combination, so an extra 12 seconds to their particular pit stop from 85, which will lead to a 97-second pit stop in all. Out goes the Sugden-Richardson combination, and Tim Sugden will be at the wheel.
Yeah, they're in a good position at the moment.
That was a good stint. They're happy with that.
Absolutely.
Ferrari.
Yeah, I mean, that was a really good stint. Gave himself a 4-second lead over the Hambrick Venter car, which finds itself in second position at the moment.
A warning for car number 8. Exceeding track limits at turn 4, turn 8 and turn 12. That's how hard he's pushing.
Yeah, and that is obviously, Hambrick. Fabian Hambrick board in this weekend because Kitasawa is also not here. He's doing Le Mans duties as well.
Safety car.
Oh, we've got a safety
car is out. Now that's going to change the whole complexion. What a time for that to come out too.
Wow.
When several cars still kind of shuttling through their outlaps.
Yeah, that's I can't see exactly what the reason is for that at the moment. We'll find out very shortly, of course. But with a safety car on the track, that's when Anthony Liu and David Arizo, the lead that they've built up.
Very disappointed with that.
Absolutely.
So this changes everything.
Absolutely.
Drama indeed here, live on Fox Sports. GT Asia from Thailand, round 4 of the series. Exciting round 3 as out goes David Arizo, and well, at least he'll catch up to the field now under safety, but not what they wanted in terms of their strategy by any means, because they built up.
Well, what it has done is that the guys with the longer pit stops, they don't have to catch up that 12 or longer seconds. So they're actually right on the back of the pack now. So it's really has helped out a lot of people.
I was going to say Marty Lee, after that spin and the extra time in the pits, will be very happy. The Audi team. Still trying to work out exactly what has brought out the safety. I can watch out of the corner of my eye as Rizzo flings that car around the track to try and catch up with the pack. The last of the pit stops. And here we go. And it looks as though the VLT car, the super slow-mo, going a little too close. Fantastic shots, though, showing you how hard they're pushing.
And how much of the track they do use.
Yes.
Oh, looks like maybe there's a little bit of contact there.
It's just a super slow-mo to let us know. Just, kind of strains these cars are under.
Yeah, I mean,
you see it in super slow-mo like this, you really get an idea just how much the suspension is being used and how much the aerodynamics come into play.
No, absolutely.
So we're under safety here. Here we go.
Okay, there's the issue. The track is starting to
break
lift
up under the heat. I thought more than that.
What it is, it's not actually the heat. That blue part on the other side of the ripple strip where the guys are running, that's a join. It's, I don't want to say it's carpet, but it's like a softer material.
Sometimes AstroTurf.
Yes, it is. But what it is, it's a fake material that's on the edge of the circuit. And when the cars run over it, it can rip it up. And if that does rip up and curl and goes under these cars, you've got to remember that these GT cars run very, very low ground clearance to help their ground effects. If a car does run over that and it rolls up, it's a very dangerous situation.
It's a turn 4, the exit of turn 4.
Yeah.
That's where the officials were looking at it.
Yeah, well, the issue is that is the fastest corner on the circuit. 220 kilometres an hour, right in the apex of that corner. You cannot afford for it to go pear-shaped at that speed at that corner. So the marshals will be working hard at that.
Tony Whitaker out there, the race director, checking out the situation. And the pit window suspended.
Yeah, well, it needs to be suspended. The reason for that, of course, is if we let it count down, we've still got some of the drivers out there that haven't been into the pit, so they would be unfairly penalised. So what we need to do is we need to just wait and see if they can, how long it takes them to fix that track. And then the guys will take off. And in the meantime, everything's cooling down, which has got to be helping them. It's very hot out there. I don't think they're going to lose too much tyre temperature. But some of the guys that have let the tyre pressures down to the optimum temperature, their tyres might deflate a little bit too much. They really do need to keep an eye on it.
Yeah, and this is where the experience counts, Steve. And you've done this yourself. When the safety car's out, you know, it's the good guys that know what they're doing, that know what you know, what's going on underneath them tyre-wise, temperature-wise. All these factors are in there, but you're still under race conditions. The adrenaline's flowing. You're still under race situation because the laps are ticking down, and so's the clock ticking down. So you know, you've got to have your mettle about you.
Oh, absolutely. You just, it's very easy to let your mind drift, and if your mind drifts in this situation, you can easily lose 3 or 4 spots if you don't use that. You know, the tyres that aren't up to optimum temperature correctly, you're going to get yourself into a lot of trouble. There we go. One of the Bentleys turned around.
Yeah,
that was at the start. Yeah, that was, you know, not a good start to the race for Vuticorn.
So we catch our breath here. Live action from the Buriram circuit here in Thailand. A fantastic facility, a brand new facility, Asia's most modern circuit. As we looked down from turn 2, back at the main grandstand.
Yeah, I really do like, you know, this circuit, Jonathan. The Herman Tilke designed circuit. He's built a lot of these circuits around the world, hasn't he? I mean, I can't think of the first one that we went to together, but it was a long, long time ago. There's Carlo Van Dam. He had
not a happy man.
He had a bad race yesterday with a penalty. It could have been a great race. Nearly got caught up in that.
Remember, further action was taken once that incident did take place.
No, I think that, you know, Andrew Kim there, I think that incident just basically happened. He did that on his own, just the back come around. I think we saw, you know, Marchie Lee earlier on have a similar sort of problem, perhaps got on the gas just slightly too much. Maybe he got a tap, but if somebody did tap him, they got away with it because there was no further penalty taken in that one. The 2 Audis on track together at the moment as well, so that's going to be an interesting battle when we get underway. There's the 55 car of the young Italians.
Yeah, they've still got a good chance of winning this race. The crowd getting into it. We're under safety here. The safety car approaching the last corner again. A watchful eye as to whether he comes in this time. Is he headed towards the pit lane? I think he is.
Not this time, Jonathan. They're still out there.
So one more lap under safety here. Crucial time here. It may be early in the season, but points count. And certainly after yesterday's fantastic racing by the Audi, they've got their tails up and they want a result. They're in midfield at the moment. Marchie Lee getting into trouble. But Willamici and Liberati, who is yet to really show and shine what he can do. And it's been a troubled start for the team.
Yeah, the other thing to remember while we're looking at this is that the order of the cars that you see on track at the moment is not necessarily the order of the race, because some of the guys have pitted and some of the guys haven't. So there's a mixture of cars out there at the moment, and where it looks like the Sugden car is in second position at the moment, definitely not the case. A lot of strategy going on with the Porsches. There in the background, there's Buriram Bhakti, Toy Buriram Bhakti, trying to figure out what the story is. And in the meantime, the clock is down to 20 minutes. Just under 20 minutes, 19 minutes 55 to go. And there is the running order at the moment. Venter and Hamprecht are leading.
Yeah, and that's good news for Jonathan Venter, the Australian, of course, leading the championship going into this race, but by only a couple of points. So. As we shuttle through, we see Kodasai and Buriram Bhakti in 14th position. They're in their own battle, of course. Don't forget, we've got the GT Cup and the Pro-Am Cup. Professional drivers, Venter, Sauer, Rizzo, Van Dam and Marchie Lee, they're in their own battle. And then there's the Teams Championship, of course. Bentley Absolute leading the way at the moment. Phoenix Racing after that win. Challenging, and BBT Ferrari, of course, the Billionaires Boys team.
Davido Rizzo and Anthony Liu driving for them, of course.
And the clock ticks down. And we are racing again here in Thailand.
And at the
Bentley
moment
comes into turn 2. It's interesting. I'm trying to work out. They've got yellow flags waving, and yet So they are still under safety. I thought they took off for a moment there, but the Bentley did take off, didn't he? I guess he's just trying to get some temperature in, but we are still under safety.
Yeah, absolutely. It's you know, it's definitely a problem. Their safety car is still out on the circuit at the moment, and it's quite a.
It's a lot to take in for any of the drivers and the teams, because they're trying to work out the strategy, and it's almost impossible to work out because, like you say, everybody's shuttling through, pit window suspended, and we're under safety.
Yeah, what you basically have to do in a situation like this is just these cars have communication, obviously, to the car.
I'm just looking out of the window from where we're looking, and that's another reason why the safety car has stayed out, because they are still taking a look at the exit of turn 4. As we watch them go round under safety, there are still marshals working quite frantically to repair the circuit where we first had the incident. They've now put some bollards down, hopefully to try to create a situation, I'm sure, that will actually show the drivers the area that they're working on. Yeah. And this is really, really tough for the marshal in here, because they're literally trying to deal with a live track. It's not all these cars on track.
It's not the first time that problems like this have happened in the middle of a race. I mean, it's happened at Bathurst in Australia a couple of years ago, where they had a track issue. But you know, the marshals have to do their best to fix that situation up and get racing underway. In the meantime, the clock is ticking down, 16 minutes and 43 seconds to go.
Now we're about to approach the incident under safety, and it's turn 4, it's the exit of turn 4, as Anthony Liu watches on, as we all do, to see what will unfold in this very dramatic round 4 of the series.
Yeah, I mean, the issue for Anthony Liu, of course, is he'd built up a nice lead heading into the pit stop situation, but he's, you know, that lead has disappeared now. So for him, what could have been maybe a victory, maybe an easy victory, is now going to be a downright battle to the to the finish, Jonathan.
So they go past the incident, everybody shuffles through, and the bollards that you put out there have obviously been noticed by the drivers. Whether they'll go back out there, and now they've all passed foot through. The last car, the VLT Porsche, was the last to bring up the rear.
What I was going to say before is most of these cars have obviously radio contact with the pit as they're out there, so they will be getting information and being told what the issue is on the track, what they need to do, whether it's don't run over that part of the circuit, whatever it is that they need to do. It is a very high wear part of the circuit there. It's coming out of that mid-corner apex, 220 k's an hour. So that if any part of the circuit is going to get extra stress, it is that particular point.
Safety car will be in this lap. We're about to go racing here again at Buriram in Thailand. What a drama this has turned out to be. The thunderstorms that were expected, they didn't come, but we had all sorts of drama on track. The track itself getting into trouble, and that brought out a special safety. In comes the safety car though now, and the Ferrari will lead the way once again. Davide Liso at the wheel, the Italian.
Yeah, no thunder and lightning, but I think the fireworks are about to start.
And in comes the Bentley right behind the safety car, and the number 8 just pushing the safety car away if he can, because he wants to get in as quick as he can.
Yeah, that was really bad timing for the Bentley. Oh.
Liberati makes a move at the inside. Through goes the Hurricane, and he's in the mood for sure.
Absolutely.
Ferrari pulling away though.
They didn't have the best of races yesterday.
Here's the pit stop for the Bentley number 8.
Yeah, now really bad timing for these guys. Hamprick got caught out there, Jonathan Venter in the car now, but they're going to have to sit, and with 14 minutes left in the race, by the time they get back out on track, Jonathan, it's not going to leave them a lot of time left.
And 109 seconds of total, and that is made up of the 85 from, which is everybody's time, but also an extra 12 from accumulated compensation time, 109 in all, because there are also 2 silver drivers. That's the worst possible scenario.
Absolutely, especially with 13 minutes and 55 seconds left of the race.
It's going to be agonizingly long.
It's going to be a difficult race for them, and I don't think we're going to see them figuring the results like we did in Korea.
So, what an interesting race this has turned out to be. We're racing again, though, and we're at the back of the circuit right now, but meanwhile, there is a lone Bentley stuck in the pits doing what everybody else has already done, which is pit, and the Ferrari is like a hare at the front, resplendent 4.88, pulling away as he comes down the back straight towards the last corner. Through the S as they come. And look at this, a real gaggle in the midfield here. Buriram trying to get out of the way, Buriram, and he does get right out of the way of the faster cars, and that's another part of this, is that you've got slower cars now getting in the way of the faster cars. And look at this at the last corner, all sorts of stuff going on here. The Audi,
look how close it is.
Too close for comfort. Alex Young in the battle with the Bentleys.
And of course the number 7 car, Adderley Fong in the car now. He's doing a great job, but Alex Young up the inside.
Well, Audi have waited for a day where they can be competitive because they haven't really had much of a show. Certainly the Alex Young car, all sorts of dramas for them. And Alex just wanting to have a decent run and get amongst it.
Off the end of the back straight now, 4 wide, 5 deep. This is GT racing at its best.
It's superb. And it's very hard to race at close quarters like these in these massive machines. So much power as well. Easy to get wrong, but these are some of the best in the world. Certainly the best in Asia as well, and that's been the beauty of this series. GT Asia developing some of the best drivers in the world, coming to help out some of the gentleman drivers of Asia and bring them forward. But of course, Asia itself now, over the last decade, thanks to Motorsport Asia, has been bringing forward the likes of Marchie Lee, the likes of Alex Young. And so now, Asian drivers, Thai drivers too, like Vudakorn, are on a level with these world-class professionals.
12 minutes left in the race now, Jonathan. We're getting down to the business end. If there's anything left as a driver now, if you've got any tyres left, now is the time that you need to pounce. You need to get through.
Talking of bouncing, Carlo Van Dam, a man on a mission. Like a Claude Van Damme movie, the way he's been pushing this year. And he's a man definitely all about the racing. Every time we've spoken to him, he's dead serious, deadpan, all about the racing. He even raced here a couple of weeks ago in TCR at a Seat.
Yeah, I mean, he did. It was an amazing, drive that he had. And it was an amazing stint that he did yesterday. I mean, yesterday he was able to put that car into the pit stop leading this race. And it just goes to show you how close this GT racing is and how the balance of performance works. I mean, 1 minute you can lead the race, the next minute you're in sixth.
Look at this pressure that George Richardson is under. Look at this 3 wide.
He hasn't given it up yet, though.
And he's got the works Lamborghini boys on his tail, but he's lost out now, and both of them have got through. Carlo Van Dam, an Asian champion in his own right, former Formula 3 star, and he's flashing the lights at the Italian.
Yeah, great.
Liberati and Amici.
Yeah, Liberati and Amici in that brand new Lamborghini Huracan. What a job. We knew they had talent, we knew they had speed, Jonathan, but for one reason or another, they haven't really been able to show it. They've been a bit loose everywhere we've been, but it's starting to come together for them now.
And meanwhile, the 88 of Richard Lyons sandwiched between the Bentley and the Audi, Audi just in front, and whoa, we've got some traffic. Crosstown traffic here. It's almost like downtown Bangkok at the moment. 10 minutes to go.
There's Adderley Fong. He's looking for a way past Richard Lyons at the moment too. He's up the inside, around the outside, but no way through Richard Lyons just yet. Oh, that was...
yeah, questionable, but I'd let him get away with that.
Yeah.
That's me, though. So, Rizzo, Tappi, Liberati, Van Dam.
Don't stop. They're all there. Daryl Young's
Exactly.
joined the fray too. And poor old Marchie Lee is at the back of the group. The winner of round 3.
I know, like I said, when he spun, 0 to 0.
Yeah.
So then, let's have a look at the gap. Lee Thong in 10th position at the moment.
Yeah, 10th position, but 10 seconds off the lead. That's how close this is.
Another place lost, this time to the VLT car. Oh Young going through into 9th position.
Duncan Tappi out there, of course, at the moment. Duncan's a winner here before, Jonathan. He's really doing a great job.
Here, yeah.
He did in this championship last year, but it's so good to see him back out there, obviously filling in for young Andrew Palmer, who was injured at Lime Rock, wasn't it?
Yeah.
Unfortunately. So
Andrew Palmer's still in hospital, sadly.
We send our best wishes to him.
Back to the action then. Rizzo, Tappi, Liberati, Van Dam. That's your top 4. Sugden in 5th. And Richardson.
Yeah, once again, Richardson doing a fantastic job, and Alex Jung in the car out there at the moment as well. In the silver Audi, they've had hardly any track time this weekend. They missed the third practice session. They didn't race yesterday. And
Sugden, though, and Richardson pushing hard.
no, they're definitely a great pairing, aren't they? There's the number 6 car, of course, Alex Jung, right behind the Group M Porsche.
Yeah, I'm kind of hopeful that Alex gets at least a result.
There he goes. Oh, that's close.
Lyons holding on bitterly. Bits flying off the track there as the Bentley tries to go through on the outside.
Yeah, nice move there. Richard Lyons definitely, if anybody can come to grips with that new 991 Porsche, you've got to put your money on Richard. I know that they've got some new suspension, internal suspension settings this weekend as well. It's obviously helped. But meanwhile, out front, Rizzo and Lou.
Yeah, I'm looking at the gap. I mean, it's still, there's not much to it, but Rizzo and Lou still lead this race.
Yeah, well, we're coming down to the pointy end at the moment. There's 7 minutes left to go, Jonathan. 7 minutes.
Yeah, there's a lot can happen in 7 minutes, actually. It doesn't sound much, but it's only an hour race. But I've seen so many of these GT Asia races decided pretty much in the last 5 minutes.
Yeah, well, it looks like it's going to be that way today, and especially with that yellow flag, it's tightened everything up.
The battle continues between the VLT Porsche and the Audi number 5. The gap of just under a second between Rizzo and Tappi officially. Liberati is still third, 3 seconds adrift, just under 4 seconds. And then further down, the battle you've been watching. Venter and Hambrecht in 11th position, we have them. In the number 8. This race has had everything, Steve, that's for sure.
Yeah, it certainly has. And there's that battle with Adelie Fong still raging on. Richard Lyons as well. The number 98 Group M car. What a showing they've had.
Well, we talked about the heat, we talked about the cool suits. We were talking about that yesterday. You know, everybody expected, because of the high track temperatures and also how hot it is inside the cars themselves, that you'd be wearing a cool suit. That would be the obvious thing. But then talking to the drivers, they said, well, you know what, you've got a 30-minute stint, and we're pretty fit anyway. 10 kilos of an icebox when you don't need to if you can put up with the heat.
Well, absolutely. I mean, if you come in underweight, you can do that, but 10 kilos makes a difference in these cars, and you don't necessarily, you know, every 10th counts. I mean, look how close the racing is right now. It's very, very close. A 10th makes a big difference per lap. So if you can get away without that cool suit, the man who's the most comfortable out there, though, is obviously David Rizzo. And the reason for that, of course, is because that brand new 488 bi-turbo Ferrari comes with air conditioning.
Which I found perplexing. But well, there you go.
You may as well be comfortable while you're winning the race.
Well, it's a Ferrari. You've got to be comfortable. So, Rizzo and Liu. 30 laps gone. 4 minutes, just under 5 to go. Round 4 of GT Asia, live here on Fox Sports, bringing you the action from Buriram circuit.
Up the inside goes Alex Jung.
Nicely done. Through he goes on the Porsche, the Group M Porsche. Yields at turn 2, which is the obvious overtaking spot.
Well, definitely if you get a good drive out of turn 1, it's a kilometre long straight here, and you can use the slipstream effect and really get down into the braking area. And of course, the Audis are running 40 kilograms less weight this weekend than they were last time out in Korea, so definitely very strong in the braking zone.
Great to see Alex Jung flat out. I've been watching him since he was a teenager of 15. I first saw him at Macau in a BMW where he had extra cushions just so he could reach the pedals. Seems a long time ago now, and of course he made it to the dizzy heights of Formula One.
Well, he doesn't need cushions now. What he needs is a little bit of extra speed. Because
he wants a cushion on the track.
Well, absolutely. He's got a lot of guys right behind him at the moment that he's a fixated target.
Now, car number 91 under investigation.
Yeah, of course, that's the Darryl Young Buriram Toy Buriram Porsche under investigation.
As is car 11 for ID transponder, but that's not going to make anything different at the front. But look at this. This is very interesting because here we go. The battle is on with 3 minutes to go. Rizzo doing everything he can now to hold off the number 9 of Tappy. Duncan Tappy of Great Britain, one of the most experienced drivers in this series, if not worldwide.
Fastest man on track at the moment is Duncan Tappy too. 35.1, a couple of tenths of a lap quicker than Rizzo last time round. So Duncan Tappy can do this. He's within striking range.
Well, Tappy has driven everything. I remember when I used to watch him in single-seaters. He's one of the few guys I know that's actually driven for a football team. He was a Tottenham Hotspur star, believe it or not. and he drove for Galatasaray. Well, seems somewhat familiar with Buriram United just across the way there. But Tappy now driving McLaren, but certainly no slouch in a Bentley either. Coming in at the last minute, knows the track well, and is pushing on hard here on the Ferrari. A classic finish here in round 4 of the series. Watching our Bentley boys now. Vutakorn will watch as his teammate. Good stint, in fact, by the Thai driver. Yeah, thumbs up. I'll give you that, my friend.
Yeah, he did do a good stint. I mean, he really made the race for Duncan Tappy. He's put this car into a very good position. Helped out a little bit by the safety car, but Duncan Tappy now...
And look how much he's gained. 0.8, 0.1. Every lap in the last 3, he's caught a little bit out of Rizzo, and Rizzo under massive pressure. Ooh, slightly high and wide that time for the Bentley. They cross the line again. Just 2 minutes to go now, just under as they cross the line and into turn 1. The number 37 Ferrari from Shanghai leads the Bentley of Duncan Tappy from Great Britain in the British Mark Bentley.
David Aritza, though, has pulled out the stops, Jonathan. He's just done his fastest lap and the fastest lap of the race with a 34.9. So Rizzo is pulling out the stops.
Yeah, he really is. Into turn 2, this is one overtaking possibility, but he's not close enough by any means.
No.
Far away is Liberati and Amici in the 3rd place. Hurricane.
This is the best drive for Liberati and Amici this year so far.
Finally, they've got some results in, yeah.
Consistency, not what they want to be, but still, to see that Lamborghini up on the podium, if he can continue the way he is, will be a great boost to the team.
Pretty cool to see 3 marks in the top 3 as well. That's just as we hoped.
Absolutely, and I mean, there's 5 different cars in the top 5, honestly. You've also got Alex Jung in 5th, and you've got an older model with Ferrari, 458, with Van Dam and Biram Bhakti in 4th at the moment.
So they go through the infield sector here, and nothing between them at the moment. 0.9 the official gap, but you can see yourselves when you see the leaders just how close it is. Meanwhile, the number 7 still pushing on in 8th position. That's Fong and Kim. And there's all sorts of pressure on Richard Lyons right now as the Bentley wants by in the closing stages. Through come the leaders to the last turn now. Davide Rizzo, the Italian, just gets a little squiggly out of the last corner. Lost a little bit of time, but still got the advantage. 33 laps now. And this will be closing time now.
Duncan Tappy is not giving up. He just did a 34.8, so he's closed that gap down. He's in the slipstream at the moment. If he's going to have a go, it's got to be at the back of this main straight into turn 2. There goes the lights flashing, but he's too far away. He's not going to do it.
Yeah, you flash all you like, mate. You're not going to get past Rizzo. It's Ferrari versus Bentley. Italy versus Britain.
Look at him close up there through the middle of turn 3.
Duncan Tappy putting all the pressure and all his wisdom and experience to use here. Through the fastest corner, they'll come in a moment. The lights flashing on the Bentley. This is where the bollards are for the track that came up and why we had the safety car. They both go past the incident, but the Bentley's on full tilt now, trying desperately to get on level terms with the Ferrari.
They're in the midsection now. It's quite tricky through here. It's easy to overdrive the car here, Jonathan. You've really got to just be very light with the steering wheel. Bit of a slide there from Tappy, but he's trying everything. Oh, big slide from Tappy.
That could be game over in terms of him catching anyway.
Absolutely, and that's exactly what I was talking about. You can easily overdrive the car here and lose it, which is what he did. It's not a high grip circuit, it's a low grip circuit, so you have to be very careful about the way you drive it. He's not going to give up yet, though.
What a finish this has turned out to be. It had some drama, but here comes Davide Rizzo. 3 years ago, they went to Korea and nobody'd ever heard of them. And then they really started making a trail here in Asia. And they're doing it again in Thailand. They come to the line and win. Davide Rizzo takes the checkered flag here in Thailand. Liu is the first to greet him across the line. What a result for them. Tappy did everything he could in the Bentley to stop them, but it wasn't to be. They cross the line now. And in 3rd place comes Liberati and Amici in the Lamborghini. A great result for them, finally. Van Dam And Buriram Bhakti crossed the line in
Look
fourth.
at
Anthony
Anthony
Liu gives us a perfect kung fu kick. And the boys from Shanghai have done it. The BBT team. There you go. And roughly translated, he's happy. Richardson, Sugden, Lyons, 7th. Fong and Kim in 8th position. And Anthony Liu and Davide Rizzo, after disappointment at the beginning of the season, but they've done it in style now. And deserved winners. They started from pole, I may add, but really, with the race that we had, it's so hard to keep your concentration in terms of racing, under safety especially, in the middle of the race at the worst time. Remember that first safety came out right at the pit stop edge. It suspended the window. Boy, they've had to do some concentration still.
Oh, absolutely. I mean, it worked in the favour of some people, but it didn't work in the favour of others. Poor old Venter and Hamprecht, who were caught out there, they were left with nothing. Unfortunately for them, they finished in 8th, which is not a good result. I think Jonathan Venter was hoping for a little bit more than that this time round. But nevertheless, Rizzo and Liu drove absolutely perfectly. So did Duncan Tappy.
Here's the result then. Rizzo and Liu, Tappy and Vutikon in 2nd place. Liberati and Amici 3rd. Van Dam and Buriram Bhakti, the local man, in 4th place. Jung and Ao 5th in the Audi. Sugden and Richardson in 6th place. Lyons Yu, Fong and Kim in 8th. And Oh Young and Buriram Bhakti 9th. Thong and Lee in 10th position. Well, real shame for Venter, and I think really they're going to be rather sad that it just unfolded the way it did for them. Hadn't taken their pit stop, and it turned out as Venter and Hamprecht have to settle for 11th place. Seatright and Buriram Bhakti in the top 12, but all smiles. And incidentally, first win for the 488 in Asia.
Yeah, fantastic to see. I mean, a great job. Brand new Ferrari, done the job, taken up from where the old one left off, I would say, the twin turbo.
Yeah, well, as we know worldwide, the 458 was a missile and was so successful around the world. And I asked Anthony Rizzo yesterday, Davide Rizzo yesterday about the car, and I said, the difference between the new one and the old one, and he said basically, actually the 458 is probably still a little bit faster in a straight line, but the aerodynamics on the new car are actually a little bit better, and so anyway, it proved out to be the perfect place for them today, for sure.
Yeah, absolutely. It's and there is the car. He's on top of the roof, Anthony Liu. How happy is he with that?
We don't get much emotion from him.
I tell you what, I am heading down to the press conference because this is going to be.
It could be good. It's so funny because, like you say, he can be very monotone in the nicest possible way. I mean, he can say what he likes, but he never gets that emotional, Anthony, and it's great to see, to be honest. You expect it more from the Italian.
The thing is, he was never meant to be a racing driver, Jonathan. He was just a gentleman driver, but he's turned into a world-class driver now.
Yeah, there's a sort of modern myth, if you will, or an ancient legend that says he went to Maranello and actually took a Formula One car around the track, and the guys at Maranello kind of took a deep sigh and went, actually, this guy's got some potential. Yeah. But he was just having fun.
Absolutely.
So anyway, he's showing his full potential now in the combination of the Shanghai boys, the BBT team, and they've taken their win.
Yeah, and they've shown how strong they are. They're definitely going to be a force to be reckoned with.
How was that for a race win, Anthony? Pretty exciting to watch, pretty emotional.
It's been a long time, The regulations our team seems like designed to go against us. So finally to pull a win out of the hat after settling for P5 yesterday, it was the best we can do.
David, how hard was that? You put in some pretty sharp laps towards the end.
Well, it was not easy, knowing Tapi was coming on the back, flashing the lights, but I'm training with Anthony on the PlayStation to do that, so I did my best.
You'd have to be pretty proud of what you've done as a team with this new car.
Well, it's luckily we have a EF Corsa that follow us, and then they have all the tricks and hits from Europe, and they give us the best service, so we just need to drive.
Congratulations.
Thank you.
Yes, and he gives credit to of course, and if you get that, don't you, that there's a lot of European influence on this GT Asia Championship from the official factories because they want to succeed in Asia. This is a massive market for these marques. Now, let's have a look at how it all panned out then with 4 rounds gone. This is how it looks. Davide Rizzo now with 55 points. He and his teammate Anthony Liu lead the way. What a significant day it's turned out to be. Venter dropping now to 3rd place, having led this championship with 43 points. Still a long way to go though yet. Sean Thong and Marchi Lee with 41 points. Then Vutikon with 40. Carlo Van Dam and Buriram with 7th and 8th on 39 points, and just a point behind Edoardo Liberati and Andrea Amici of Italy in the Lamborghini. So Adley Fong is the one I'm looking at. He and his teammate have got some work to do because they want to win this championship, and it's 4 rounds in. Still a long way to go yet. We'll be headed to Japan for 2 rounds and 4 races still to go. A long way to go. Let's go down to Sean.
It was quite short, actually, with the whole safety car situation. It was a bit confusing as well because we didn't quite know what it was for. I drove around, didn't see any cars on the circuit that have had any accidents. And then, obviously it was some kind of drain cover or something. But so it was a short dash really to the finish, and I had to cut through a few of the guys to get up with Mr. Rizzo, and managed to close the gap. But they've got some serious straight line speed, and the only real place that you can have a go here is down into turn 2 really. And I just kept losing two car lengths really, and I didn't want to take the risk. It's been a lovely weekend for me to stand in for Mr. Andrew Palmer, and I wish him all the best. And a thank you to Absolute Racing for drafting me in.
Vudi, what was your stint like, just quickly?
Well, my stint was, I think there was an incident from the beginning on turn 1, and that's how I get into P4 very quick from there. And I was, defending the one of the Porsche in the back quite a bit, and I brought the car back with the P4. And thank you for Duncan and the team Bentley Absolute that giving us the good opportunity to get in P2 here.
Congratulations.
Thank you.
Thank you, guys.
Polite words from both drivers and a nice nod to Andrew Palmer, still recovering in hospital in the United States, and we wish him well here. Everybody at GT Asia. Duncan Tappy doing a brilliant job coming in at the last minute, but like you said, if you're going to have a super sub, to use the soccer parlance, why not have a number 12 like Duncan Tappy, because he knows exactly what to do in a Bentley. But he said it there, he couldn't get close enough at turn 2. That was his best opportunity. We saw it ourselves on the last lap. He just couldn't get close enough to the Ferrari, who had great straight line speed. So the crowd on their feet and enjoying this, and Steve, to catch your breath yourself, because you heard it from Tappy, even the drivers didn't quite know what was happening in terms of what the various incidents were for.
Yeah, but that's what makes the team.
Yeah.
Like, you have contact from the car to the box. You need to have a strong team manager in contact with the car to keep the driver under control, even if he doesn't necessarily know what the problem is. The team manager always needs to be strong and give a message to the driver. Just keep doing what you're doing. Don't worry, we're going to sort it out. You're not losing anything. Just keep everything nice and warm. We'll keep you informed when we know what's going on. And that's, basically what these top teams here in Asia have got. They've all got very good mechanical staff behind them that work well together. Good engineers, of course. A lot of the engineers and things come from all over the world to come together to make this Asian Championship one of the best championships in the world.
Long, hot and hard weekend is over, and now time to stand on the podium. A delighted Anthony Liu. You saw the emotion there. And a relieved, I'm sure, Liberati and Amici. They've been in trouble, have the boys, for making a few mistakes. They're still young. They're in their 20s, but they come through this time. The experience of Tappy and a good stint by Vuticorn gives them and Bentley, Absolute team, 2nd place. But it's all about Ferrari. Everyone's seeing red today, but especially Rizzo and Liu, who put on a great display of racing to take Ferrari 488's first win here in GT Asia 2016. There's your top 3. So, Steve, looking forward to the next one, Japan. It all rolls into one.
Yeah, I mean, Japan is going to be a fantastic race meeting. I can't wait to get there, Jonathan. It's, completely different weather patterns over there.
Yeah, it's going to be interesting. There's always a possibility of rain, but nothing happened in terms of rain here. But raining here supreme in Thailand, it's Ferrari and Rizzo and Liu. Hope you've enjoyed our coverage on Fox Sports. We'll be back next time from Japan as GT Asia continues to race throughout the Asian region. See you next time.